The title of the piece is Beacon, and it's kind of emerged or evolved from a series of pieces that I've done for the foyer. So someone returning home or about to leave their residence or greeting a guest could have a piece that might house something that they kind of feel really comfortable with or like to share with their visitors. And that being a cabinet that had a door that you could swing open, and then it would reveal a collection that, again, kind of spoke to their visitors about their interest, their passion. The name Beacon came from is actually a piece that was designed specifically to be shown here in Santa Fe initially. And it started, again, like I said, a number of pieces were designed for the foyer that normally incorporated mirrors and lights and shelves for plants and objects. But on the top here, I rose up higher with the lamp above, kind of an abstraction of the architectural bell towers if you'd find down here in the Southwest, especially Santa Fe. I wanted the door to swing very easily, so there's no latch or switch or handle, and it just, again, slides open to reveal the contents. It could be practically used as, something for car keys and a wallet, things like that as you're in and out of a home, or again, to display a collection. And also placed possibly in a bedroom for jewelry. The base is cast concrete. Below that's a steel plate. And they're just sandwiched together, so the piece really does have some nice stability to it, considering its height and its very small footprint. The weight of the concrete gives it a lot of stability. And there's two threaded rods that slide through here, through the concrete, and into two drilled and tabbed holes in the steel plate. And this plate here concealing that with the magnets. The materials on the door, this is an ammonia fumed white oak. And that's where the really nice, rich, dark, black, brown color of the oak is a natural process that takes place when the oak reacts to the ammonia fumes. And that was then glued onto a hand-shaped, solid interior sapele material, which was 8/4 when I began, 2 inches in thickness. The interior is a natural sapele with leather bases on the trays. This foyer table was specifically designed really just to present one particular object that someone really was fond of and really spoke to their visitor of exactly really what they were all about. So the table is a very long, very narrow, solid wood top that's solid color, black, so it would hopefully really highlight a colorful piece if it was placed on top of it. It slides left to right, and the reason for that primarily was that I could really slide it to one left or right in an extreme manner, such that it almost like it was a diving board. So the top, like I said, is a solid piece of wood. This is sapele. It's been dyed with an Indian ink, black, and then a clear varnish finish I wipe on, 4 or 5 coats on top of that. The base below is of the same material, sapele. It's a veneer. It's been dyed and varnished, but it's a hollow form, if you will, that supports the neck that allows the top to slide from right to left. And at the very base, two pieces of concrete that are wedge-shaped, so that from the side profile, the table really would have a very difficult time standing. And it's that front protrusion, that wedge of concrete, that visually I love it. It adds a lot of asymmetry to it, but it was extremely necessary, if you will, for the stability of the piece. The piece is titled The Foyer Mirror, and it really, again, started the same way I do with all the pieces. I'm really very interested in architecture and sculpture and functional furniture, and try to kind of blend those 3 things together. And this here was purely a piece that I wanted to have mounted to the wall where it could, again, present one really nice ceramic, glass, colorful piece. So I thought the gray concrete, the neutral color, the warm gray with a little bit of a coarse surface would be a really nice place for a softer sculptural piece to reside and be presented. The mirror behind it allowed you to see really the piece in 360 degrees. You could see the backside, how to walk around it or rotate the piece. So the whole piece really evolved around that function of just really showing off one piece that someone had a little bit of a attachment to. It meant something to them, and ideally if it was placed in a foyer, we would share that with the visitor as they arrived at the residence. So it was that focus, that function, and the frame. Just wanted to, again, maybe be more three-dimensional, kind of create a little bit of an environment, a protective area for that piece to reside. So that's why the frame kind of comes out a little bit and kind of more of a bas relief. But in the mitered corners, I broke them, so it just kind of gives a little bit of life and movement to them rather than being joined tight and just circling the piece. So the four petals, if you will, kind of flank the artwork that resides on the concrete shelf. The frame, the interior is white, kind of again to highlight any potential color that's in the piece being displayed, and that's Kodo. It was bleached, and then I used a whitewash on top of it. The frame in high contrast was Sapili. I dyed it with the Indian ink, and then the varnish on top of that. The piece is fairly tall, and wanted to give some height to the mirror behind the piece so that it didn't seem like it was crowding it at all. Again, as I start with all my pieces, I really try to simply and elegantly try to display another piece. And I think this piece does that quite nicely.